What is up, everybody? Hello, it's Vlad. How are y'all doing today? It's been quite a Tuesday. Very quiet. Suspiciously quiet. I don't know what's going on, man. Like, usually when I'm the one that's always like telling people, oh, you know, this is going on, that's going on, or whatever. I'm actually pretty disappointed, to be honest. And it's not even with the list. Like, that's partially it. Mainly, it's just with communication. Like, I get it. You know, there's stuff, everybody's like all hands on deck working on stuff, but you mean to tell me like one person in the community management team can just be like, write something up saying like, hey guys, we're back. You know, we had a great relaxed vacation. We're putting together, you know, a pretty decent sized patch to like do all the fixes that we've been doing, you know, that have been, you know, plaguing you guys since we left. You know, we're estimating to be like around this time or that time, or just say something, like anything. It's, to me, I just feel like there's no reason not to. Like there's literally no reason not to. And I don't know. I was just a little bit like, I don't know. Like today I was just, you know, waiting for any kind of messaging, any kind of updates, any kind of anything. And, you know, the whole radio silence thing happening right now just doesn't feel good. I don't need some action. All I need is some news on the Alpha 2 news hashtag to say something, like just addressing concerns, addressing, you know, the next major patch, when the next PTR update's going to be, you know, estimates. I don't need exact dates because we all know how exact dates work in Ashes of Creation, but just something to feel like we're not being ignored, because it almost feels like we're left on red. Does anybody else feel that way? Is it just me? Like, am I the only one that feels that way right now, where it just feels like this kind of like left on red situation? I don't know. It doesn't feel good. And I understand that people are, you know, at a point of just, you know, needing something. It is a bit weird we haven't heard anything. Bro, it's dying. Yeah, we 100% being left on red. That's what it feels like, man. It just feels like we've said all this stuff in the Alpha 2 general. We've said all this stuff in like a numerous of different places, and it just feels like, again, we're just left on red. Like I know they're watching. As busy as Steven is, you would be surprised in how much he actually pays attention to the Discord, or how much he pays attention to Reddit. So, you know, I don't know. I just think if shit isn't ready, that's fine. Like I'm not over here upset that like, oh, the list should have been here or whatever. I'm mostly just talking about just overall communication now that they've been back. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. There is no list. If they can't flag a player traveling at 200% speed, or items duplicating, I don't know, feel sad. Hopefully they are working on it. 100% they're working on it. I mean, I would, especially with these devs and how laser focused they are on certain issues. It's not like they're just going to be like, oh, we can't figure it out. Just throw our hands up in the air and be like, well, fuck it. Just let them do it. And we'll just keep working on content. That's not how Intrepid operates. The thing is that a lot of gaming companies, especially ones that are being established, they're establishing the protocol. They're refining the protocol. They're trying to do things in a way that is beneficial towards us and them. And as much as we would like, you know, the feeling of like we're being listened to and, you know, bots are being removed on a constant basis. Like there has to be so many safeguards in place, and it wouldn't put it past me if Steven and the team or the engineers were actually implementing safeguards. And people are saying like, oh, well, why haven't these safeguards been in place since phase 1 or phase 2? Or, you know, like, why are they being in place now? I'm sure there were certain ones that were probably in place that sucked. And now they're having to replace safeguards with other safeguards. And now they're trying to, because again, you have to understand, it's a constant cat and mouse game with back-end code, because the people that are trying to break in know a lot of tricks in the book from other MMOs. So when Intrepid changes something, it's not saying like Intrepid's doing nothing. They are probably doing stuff, but they're being bypassed. It's like, oh, okay, you're going protocol A, we'll just try tactic B, you know, and this is how, like, again, the RM tiers and everything else works. And, you know, so from our point of view that we aren't seeing behind the lens, it feels like Intrepid's doing nothing about it, when in actuality, that's not true. They are doing something about it, but you know who else is doing something about it? The RM tiers, the people that are being banned, or the people that are being, you know, removed from the game or whatever. Like, it's again, it's a game of whack-a-mole. As soon as you smack one down, another one pops up, and it just keeps going and going and going. Let me see. I feel what you're saying, though. Really hoping they are being quiet, because they are setting a bigger net and fix in the back end code. I hope so, but to me, you can still do that while addressing the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes no time at all, and you don't need a lot of specific information. Like, if you've been in these, you know, meetings or whatever, all you need to do is just address like the community. Whether, I don't care if it's Roshan, I don't care who it is. I know Steven likes to be the one, or even Margaret likes to be the one. I don't care where the communication comes from. Just communicate. Like, literally. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. It's just all I want is like, hey, we're working on our next patch. This is sort of hopefully when our deliverable is going to be. We're hoping to hopefully, you know, open up PTR by the end of the week. You know, we're also working on, you know, the list, or, you know, different protocols and measures to, you know, prevent and to make it easier for you guys to report these botters and the people, like, you know, exploiting the game, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. Right. Like, to me, it's not a lot. Like, I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot either. It's kind of crazy. The day the dupe was dropped in Discord, they took to the servers down 30 minutes. Not a crazy guess that they enabled verbose logging and struggled finding prior instances of dupe/RMG. Potentially. Like, I mean, I don't know the backend server. I mean, you're probably right, but I don't know. Better communication would be good. However, I'm not surprised they're a bit silent, considering I see people in Discord pinging Steven and Margaret every day. Yeah, no, for sure. But you understand why they're pinging them every day. It's because they wouldn't be pinged all the time if they just would have addressed the community. Will there still be people pinging them? For sure. But I think right now it's because it just feels so void. It feels so silent right now. You see, once they add GMs, which Steven said they'll be around beta, the body and fly hacking shit won't be as crazy. Yeah, I think it'll still be a problem, but it won't be as plagued as it is currently. I agree with that for sure. Let me see. We are waiting for the Finney list with radio silence and complaining we have no word on what's been done. Let me see. I think the problem is their big fix is the GMs being in game. So I don't think they want to say, hey, we're fixing back end stuff, but our main line of defense isn't coming out until beta. I think like, here's my thing, dude. Like, and I've said this before, I really don't care really what happens in the alpha. Is it annoying to deal with shit like this? Absolutely. But to me, the real kickoff, the real time to crunch is live launch. And, you know, I understand that we're probably going to be in this alpha for potentially the next 2 years. Like, I would say all of 2026. And potentially we have, you know, I know they said end of year beta, but I really don't think they're going to hit that mark. I think they would... my most optimistic guess for when beta 1 would release would potentially be in June of 2027. Like, seriously, like, no joke. I think that's a very realistic timeline. And then we could potentially be in beta 1 for 6 months, and then also be in beta 2 for 6 months. Again, Intrepid has been doing a lot of unconventional things. And, you know, I know people say like, oh, their betas are only supposed to be like a month long. Well, how long are alphas supposed to be? Where we've been in alpha now for, you know, a year, but this is alpha 2. There's other alphas in other games like Pantheon that's been in alpha for what, like 9 years. So there isn't a playbook, you know? So I would assume just take as long as you need to refine the game as much as you need to. Like, that's the most important part. Has anyone checked to make sure Finny is still breathing? From the latest I heard, that he was actually like permanently banned, but then someone sent me a screenshot of him in like a Discord message or of like a picture of him, and it said plain Ashes of Creation. Now, you could still be banned and it'll say plain Ashes of Creation, because it'll say plain Ashes of Creation when you try to launch it off Steam, but then it won't do anything, right? Because your account, I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if he's actually playing on another account. It wouldn't surprise me, to be totally honest with you, because that's how you circumvent it. Oh, I got permanently banned. Oh, I'll just use my alt account and bam, I'm back in. Like, it's not hard. That's why I am trying to implement. Yes, permanent bans, I think, are very much a necessity. You need to be heavy-handed, but you also need the other ways and the other things in place to make sure that the player is out of the game as possible, or as annoying to get back in the game as possible. Like, that's what you need. Let me see, when is the next dev live stream? Probably on the 30th of this month. Typically, live streams for Intrepid is usually the last Friday of the month, but sometimes when, let's say, like the 31st is on a Wednesday, they probably might push it off to like the 31st. So the live stream will be on a Wednesday. But since the last Friday of the month is on the 30th, which is like almost the final day of the month, I would assume that the January live stream will be on the 30th of January. Just makes sense. So let me put this, get all my zinc out of here, this out of here, get that out of here. And then I'm going to put all my sand in here because I don't really need sand. That there. So, sorry. 1 second, guys. All right. Osmos, I am on the Shoal server. That's the server I'm on. Oracle, welcome, brother. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Let me see. Roar noted, we should have wiped after the big dupe exploit. Thoughts, since it's early access testing and not live service. So I actually pulled up Roar's video because I have not seen it. I actually spoke with Roar earlier today and I asked him if I can react to it on stream today, and he said no. So I said, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway. And so that we're going to do that in a little bit. No, he said, yes, I can react to it. So we're definitely going to do that right now. I just wanted to get to a good place because I had some shit I had to do. So I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to log out and let me pull up the video of my lovely friend Roar and see what he does. So basically this is his kind of take for playing Ashes of Creation for 30 days. And this is kind of like his thing. He released it 6 hours ago. The video is actually doing very well. So I want to see. I think Roar is a great script writer. I think Roar is a great content creator in general. The problem with Roar is he gets fucking lazy, and I have to yell at him, and I have to convince him, and I have to like put carrots on a stick to like get him to freaking make content. And I really hope, because of this kind of insurgence of, you know, subscribers and, you know, people like loving his content, that it actually gets him to stay consistent as a creator instead of just freaking falling off. So, because he's very famous for falling off. All right, so let's go ahead and watch this video. And gotta put my headphones on. Give me 1 second. I watched that video. Good vid, thumbs up. Well, sorry you have to rewatch it again, but like I said, I wanted to watch it and see what my buddy has to say about this game, because like I said, we have certain similar opinions, but I feel like we do differ on certain things. So let's go ahead and find out what he says.
YouTube, it's Roar, and today I want to talk about my first 30 days playing Ashes of Creation during the Steam
Is the volume good?
Access launch. I want to go over what worked and what didn't, and everything in between. And as always, you guys know how I approach this stuff. I'm not a white knight. I'm not a doomer. I'm just a guy trying to play a game. If I like it, I'll say I like it. And if I hate it, I'll say I hate it. It's as simple as that. So let's get into it. If you watched my first impressions video, you already know I talked about server performance, and honestly, it's been fine. Probably one of the smoother phase launches that Ashes has had overall. That doesn't mean it's been perfect, but I really don't have any major complaints there. That said, Ashes has always struggled with its server worker setup and this whole dynamic gridding system that they're developing in real time while we're actively playing the game. I've been skeptical of dynamic gridding since the day they announced it. Ashes doesn't want instancing, they don't want shards, they want one giant server with everybody on it at the same time. And that's ambitious, but years later, we still really haven't seen it working the way that it's supposed to.
Well, especially like, I think the biggest L for early access was the queues. Because apparently there were some back end stuff causing queues to be more elongated than they should have been. And that has literally been persistent till like in January. And I think some of the queues for certain servers were literally unbearable. And depending on your situation, which I've heard, a lot of frustration, at least from my guildies that I spoke to, was they finally got in game after waiting for 2 hours. And then they went into a certain server worker and the server worker just died. And now they're in an even longer queue because that whole server worker, not the whole server, but that server worker just died with a bunch of freaking people on it. And now they're back in a fucking queue again. And it just really killed a lot of momentum for a lot of people in, wanting to play Ashes of Creation. So I would say performance wise, I think once you were in the game, it was okay-ish at best, but there were some times where there was just so many people in certain server workers that it just poofed. And that's happened a lot, especially on Shoal. So, and again, this is only with, I believe, 5,000 concurrent players. Like if we remember Phantom's video, he talked about that Steven capped how many players could actually be on all at the same time. And it's at 5,000 and it could barely handle it in certain parts. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, really? Didn't know that? Yeah. No, for sure. Usually getting disconnected on Jova and Resna would put you in a several hour queue. Yeah, I know. Same on Shoal. It was ridiculous. I had a 6 hour queue in Jova and Shoal. I know some of my guildies were like telling me like, I'm just going to not play today. And they were so upset because it's just, if you like, especially on Saturdays, right? Like you have to face the queue. Like one of my friends said that they had to log in the morning at 8 and they waited. Right. So they didn't get to play till almost 11. And then they finally played at 11 and they would play all the way as much as they could. But if they were ever kicked out for whatever reason, for any reason, they're just like, all right, I'm done for the day, because they knew they were going to have to get back into a several hour long queue again. And they just didn't want to do that. And again, these are the problems, right, that I think realistically that we have to face. And I don't know what bug that was, but man, that was a nasty ass bug for some, for people to wait that long. Like that's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Is it just me, or does Royer remind me of anyone of Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist? A little bit. Yo, Vladis, appreciate you, man. Seems like the current PR with the team is causing a lot of churn between them and players. I have not heard about that. I mean, if that's true, like I said, hopefully not, but I mean, we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, I think the team, is back. I mean, I've talked to only one of them so far, and they're amped. They're excited to get back to it, but there's a lot of stuff they have to do, man. It's coming back to it felt like a shit show, I'm sure. Like it's just not good. Let me see. Me and my guild had a rule, log out into Turquoise Sea area. I can see that. Let me see. A New World launch, same thing. Had to macro run into the wall to not be logged out. Well, I mean, this isn't even the launch. You know what I'm saying? Like we only have like, I think the top was like at 30,000 players overall. But again, even with 5,000 players in the server felt like insane. And we launched prior in phase 2 with 8,000 concurrent players. So I don't know what happened since then to have less players and be almost worse in performance. You know what I'm saying? And worse in queue times. Like it just, I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah, I'm done till beta comes out, or at least they get their shit together. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. I do. I think a lot of people have been feeling that way lately.
You still get rubber banding. You still get weird hiccups when crossing the server boundaries. There are still disconnects. And if you cross a server line at the wrong angle, sometimes you just fall through the world. That stuff has never been fully ironed out. And when it happens, it just feels awful. Optimization is another story entirely because there basically isn't any. I'm running a 3080 Ti and I'm still sitting around 60 to 70 FPS most of the time. And yeah, I know I'm not on the cutting edge of hardware anymore.
Roshan is super communicative, and I really hope they can bring it together. This game could make so many waves. I feel like Ashes is going to create a lot of waves. I do, but only if, as we progress and the more and more systems we get, the sentiment gets more and more positive. Like, it's kind of crazy that we've been in this for a year, and the sentiment doesn't feel more positive than it actually feels worse. Like, truly, it feels worse. Because in phase 2, people were having a really, really good time. And now people are complaining more than they were probably in phase 2, which the biggest things in that were TTK and static rarity. But, you know, people weren't complaining about gear or requiring like thousands of materials to make a single piece of gear or a bow. So yeah, it's definitely a lot. I think the worst thing is view distance. There are parts of the map where someone steps 10 feet in front of you and they disappear on your screen. Yeah, it's the whole pop in and pop out thing. No, completely agree. And that comes with the performance angle, I'm sure, for server working. And there's just a lot of shit they have to fucking figure out. Logging in is trash as fuck. Timeout 5 times before I even get to log in. Yeah, I know. It's been bad, dude. Like, honestly, like I can't even defend that because it really has been. And this is why I want them to communicate something, anything. And it just feels so like we're not going to say anything. And that's worse. Like being like, because that feels like you're just being deaf to what the community is yelling at you guys at. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the more sensible people, as soon as you say something, we're chill. But I feel like all the sensible people like myself are like, we can't even find a reason anymore to defend you guys for not even making a post. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of wild. It's like the old meme, what's the fastest way to make GP in RuneScape? Go work a job. Yeah, they've gone backwards since phase 2 release on a lot of things. Yeah, I think so too. What did I walk in on? We were basically watching Roar's video about his 30 days in Ashes of Creation and how it's basically like the state of the game in his eyes, like in his opinion. Is this guy a state trooper? Bro, you should see him with his state trooper hat. He's off duty right now, but he looks pretty cute with it on, you know? You see, turning this game into a PvE farming simulator is awful. Well, I think the thing is that like, this is why you see so many people just hitting rocks or chopping trees or doing gathering and stuff like that, because, well, if you're wanting to make gear or wanting to do anything gear related and gear isn't dropping from POIs, that's kind of what the fuck you have to do. Dude's got legendary gear. Like, I'm not level 20. When I get there, I have to find 1,000 legendary logs to get just a weapon, and I still have no gear. PvP is moot. Well, yeah, for sure. Farmville is fun. What do you mean? Well, I'm having fun with the gathering loops because I've always had fun with it. I was doing the same shit in phase 1 and phase 2, but instead of doing sports fishing, I was actually doing treasure maps. On my stream, that's really all I did. I would compile a whole bunch of maps to do on stream and just do them live, and I had a shit ton of fun doing them. Now treasure maps suck. They're all bugged. The little mini things don't even work. Even when the ones that aren't bugged, throwing the excavation kit around the circle is just terrible. It's trash. And they also nerfed the treasures themselves. So it's like, what's the point? And it takes a lot of materials now to actually make a faded treasure map, because now you need like monocles and all this other bullshit that you didn't need before. It's just, it's just wild. Like, I don't understand why they made it so difficult when everything now is nerfed. You know, it's kind of crazy. Am I crazy, or should ashes reduce the amount of mats required to craft gray and green gear? I wouldn't actually mind if the lesser rarity was, the less materials required, the higher the rarity, the more materials required. I really wouldn't mind that. I think that would be a fine idea, at least to me, because I kind of agree. I think some people like don't want to mid-max every single tier, and I can guarantee you no one's going to do that while they're leveling. Like, I've been totally fine in whites in the novice tier, whites in adept gear. I'll be fine with whites in journeyman too. Like, I don't need to make any kind of like the mid tier, like the tier 2 or tier 3 gear as I'm leveling. But of course, the max level currently is 25. So, you know, that's why people are doing that for journeyman, but that's not going to happen realistically, even when we're going to master or grandmaster, because, you know, well, potentially because the absurdity of leveling from 25 to 30 or from 30 to 40 or from 40 to 50 could be insane. Like, it really could. Like, it can get so exponentially crazy that you might spend a lot of time within the level 30 bracket or even the level 40 bracket, that you could actually go from like having, you know, whites to then have the tier 2s made or whatever, just because you have spent probably a lot of time within that bracket. Right now, you're not really spending a lot of time in the level 0 bracket, right? Like 0 to 10. You're not really, you probably are spending, like for myself, a lot more time in the adept bracket, like if you are like level 10 to 20, right? Depending on the kind of person you are. Leveling is nerfed too at the moment. Yeah, it is. It is. I did a few treasure maps last evening. The rewards were very mid. Yeah, I know. It's been very mid. On that note, please take food out. Please take food out of the vendors. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff they have still removed from vendors too. Like, it's really wild. I think we're starting to see the true inflation hit from the dupes, and that has made this gear gathering gear phase much more rough. No, for sure. I mean, for me, I'm not really paying attention to a lot of the economy stuff because I've been so solo mindseted. But yeah, like, I mean, people are asking for a wipe. And I've said this yesterday, I don't believe we should have a wipe, because Intrepid needs to figure out how to do this shit. Like, you know, like if we just keep resorting to wipes, they're never going to be able to refine their backend architecture or their tools to be able to surgically remove or to roll back or to do things. Like, when shit happens, when shit hits the fan, they need to act immediately, like immediately. And there needs to be more bells and whistles to go off, like more red flags or sirens or whatever, to make sure that they can do that. I think we need an econ wipe, but not a total wipe. I honestly wouldn't mind an econ wipe. Like, I have a whole bunch of, like, if they said tomorrow, hey, we're going to wipe everybody's material stash, like from the game, I'm like, all right, like, start all over. It's fine. Like, I mean, to me, it's whatever. Like, I'm not really stressed out about it. I've been complaining to take food out of the vendors for 3 phases, especially if they sell something for 45 silver that takes 20 silver, 45 copper that takes 20 silver to make. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. There's just a lot of shit they got to fix. Let's keep watching real fast.
But that's still not great. There haven't really been any performance passes, and visually, I honestly think the game looks worse than it did in Phase 1 and Phase 2. Everything feels grainy and hazy, and the lighting continues to be a problem. If you've been around long enough, you remember the Praise the Sun meme during the early access, where the day and night cycle would literally flashbang you. They said they fixed it. They didn't. And then they said they fixed it again. And now sometimes it's so dark, you can't see anything. So instead of praise the sun, it became worship the darkness. They opened up the PTR and they tested those lighting changes, and it seems okay for now, but we've been here before, and I'll believe it when it sticks. Mounts have also been incredibly frustrating, because mounts are living entities in the world. They can take damage and die, which I already hate for a system. For the entire first month of early access, mounts weren't regenerating health at all. So if you weren't a healing class, your mount would just slowly rot. A level 1 goblin could sneeze on it, kill it, and boom, 10-minute cooldown. They patched it and it worked for about 2 days, and then it broke again, and that happened right as the team went on winter break. And look, everyone deserves a break. I'm not saying they don't, but Intrepid really needs to stop launching major phases during Christmas. This is the second time they've done it, and it just doesn't work. You can't launch a massive phase and then have most of the team gone for 2 or 3 weeks while critical systems are actively breaking. Just delay the launch until January. Nobody would be upset with that. While the team was on break, a major dupe was discovered. Multiple guilds were exploiting it, getting full sets of legendary gear, pumping massive amounts of gold into the economy, and completely wrecking the balance. By the time it was dealt with, the damage was already done. Yes, exploiters were banned. Yes, duplicated items were removed. But once duped gold changes hands even once, the economy is permanently affected. And let's be honest, this is an alpha test. No matter what label you put on it, a huge portion of the game is economy testing. And if your economic data is completely corrupted, what are you even testing at that point? The obvious answer would have been to wipe, fix the exploit, ban the players, wipe the servers, and get clean data. But that didn't happen because Ashes is being treated like a live service game instead of a test. So now we just move forward with broken data and pretend nothing happened, and that's a problem.
I understand what Roar is saying, but that corrupted data is important. Because again, this is why I don't want them to wipe. And if they do wipe eventually, fine. But shit like this happens. Look at New World. Look at a lot of launches in MMOs, and don't tell me that there isn't these kinds of issues that occur. This data is important to see how fast the economy could basically spiral out of control. There's a lot of data sets that they can gather from this to see how much time we have before shit hits the fan. How much time do we need in order to fix it? If we get, it's almost like the Titanic. You know, they said, oh, if there's we can basically survive if 4 compartments were underwater, but not 5. That's kind of what they need to figure out. Like, oh, well, we can probably still fix the economy if it goes, you know, here. But if it ever gets past here, then we're fucked. You know what I mean? And again, I understand what he's saying, because I do agree in certain aspects of, like, they are treating this more as a live service game than it should be more as an alpha test, because as much as I've never been a part of any kind of official alpha testing of a unreleased MMO, the people that have spoken to me, you know, it's always in these sprints, right? And because we are persistent, which I feel now is a big mistake, but because we are in a persistent alpha, this is why, you know, we're not going to get a 6-week period to test 3 systems, like, and just focus on those systems. And then we go offline for a month, and then they give us a new update to we focus now on other systems. And, you know, we do this whole alpha testing thing. But again, I understand what we're saying, but I disagree. I think it's still valuable data for them.
Crate system is another huge issue. Crates are basically risk-free gold printing. You can run crates between Avon's End and Briarmore farms with almost no danger, barely any mobs, barely any PvP, and make guaranteed profit in 5 to 10 minutes. There's no meaningful node progression involved, and it doesn't add anything to the game except raw gold. Now you've got guides popping up showing players how to abuse it, which is wild because it's the exact same method that the gold farmers were using. And then you've got people storing dozens of crates in level 2 settlements, waiting for them to hit level 3. Once they do, they dump everything all at once and they trigger the diminishing returns instantly. Anyone who shows up afterward and tries to turn in a crate normally gets almost nothing, and they have no idea why. All of this is wrecking the economy, and on top of that, bots are absolutely everywhere. Ashes is currently designed in a way that...
But don't you think that's good data, though? Like, oh shit, so if we have the cargo in tier 2 settlements, this is how players respond. Like, to me, that's good data. Because it, again, it doesn't matter now. Does it feel frustrating for players that are trying to play this as an actual live service game? Absolutely. But remembering that we are in an alpha test, this is good. It's good, but it sucks, but it's good that these things are discovered, because then they can be like, ah, okay, flip off the cargo thing. Now you can't leave crates in a level 2 crossroads. You know what I mean? Or is it not crossroads? It's a encampment, I think. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's just good data. It's only data if they are paying attention. I suppose we assume they are, hopefully. They're paying attention. They're paying attention. Believe me, if they weren't, we would still have static rarity. They give us a version to test and analyze what players do with it. Exactly. We are early access customers. We are not exactly alpha testers. My biggest concern is that this is leaving a bad taste in customers' mouths. Steam users do not regard themselves as alpha testers. I would say that if that is true and you consider yourself a live service, that you're treating this as a game, I think that's a very bad mindset to have. And even if you yourself don't, but you're basically saying you think the general Steam user is thinking that, this is why I feared to even go on Steam in the first place, because there's nothing I can do about that. And the fact of the matter is that we are still in alpha testing. The only reason why it's Steam early access is because Steam does not allow a alpha moniker or an alpha tag in any of their games. Anytime a game goes on Steam, it has to be labeled early access. So because gamers that, have their games on Steam, every gamer has a different definition of what early access means to them. And, you'll get 65 different definitions of it. And this is why I feared going on Steam. So also I see Roar, I see myself, I see many other Ashes creators to say, please take a break, because you at least have to know in early access that this isn't really the time to go hard. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to get out of this? And especially if you're watching YouTube videos, you're watching streamers or whatever, like everybody sort of knows that this is not where you should go hard anyway. So, that's kind of my take there. Nothing you can do about that. People are not gonna be able to read or comprehend English. I think the general problem is that the testers have found out these issues and they haven't rebalanced or patched. Well, and again, it takes time to rebalance and patch. Like, it's not just this instant, like, hey, we have this thing ready for you guys because we already knew and anticipated. They're not fortune tellers. Like, they can only do so much. But I can guarantee you, you look at other gaming companies, if you're a Blizzard fanboy, like, how long did it take for them to pivot from beta designs and an expansion and actually listen to the feedback and actually implement the things that we said were terrible that aren't going to work? Like, people were literally in Shadowlands saying in the beta that this shit wasn't going to fucking work. And then you had Ian Hazakostas saying to,
I know 12 inches pretty well. Let me see that.
I forgot what interview it was from, saying that, no, we can't get rid of covenants. We can't untangle the web that is covenants and da-da-da-da-da. And guess what they fucking did after all of the horrendous feedback that was left by the players for over a year and a half? They fucking untangled the web. It was so stupid. But, I think Intrepid is actually quite agile as a gaming company comparatively to these multi-billion-dollar companies. That's my opinion about it. Let me see. Going to Steam was a bad thing. We wiped for this Harbinger event and Steam AA, but it's just a fumble in my opinion. I think honestly, the whole Harbingers thing was a big L. Like, again, this is why I'm always an advocate to push. Like, if something isn't ready, push it till it is ready. Like, there's no reason to release it early in an alpha. Like, what the fuck is the point? Like, if it's not done, if it's not even in a workable state for an alpha, it doesn't need to be there. You know what I mean? And so I think the Harbingers thing was just like, especially it being the marquee reason why, like, if you're an early access person, you had no idea about Harbingers or about Ashes of Creation, and you literally go in and then you're asking people like in guilds, or like you join a guild and you're like, hey, like, where's this Harbinger thing? I want to see what these things look like, or like, what is it? And the people tell you, oh, it's broken. Oh no, you can't even do it. It's a level 25 thing. What? You know what I mean? Like, the fact that they didn't even have smaller events in the starting zones to kind of prep you for the event. Like, it doesn't have to be anything big with like a world boss, but just like little corruption zones with like corrupted monsters, and you have like a little world event that you do there, shit like that. Like, again, like, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking when it came to the Steam launch. I don't know what they were thinking when it came to this Harbingers thing. There was just a lot of like head scratchers for me personally. Let me see. I'll send you some info in Discord, Vladis. All right, man. Let me see. They should give everyone Harbinger spider mounts. Oh, okay, cool. Let me see. I'm an advocate that testers will find the most broken way to make gold. You should just hotfix to find out what the next broken way is to make gold is. Well, I think that's the whole point. And like once the reason why I'm an advocate of wipes is because once we figure out like, okay, these things are done, right? Like, so we got to in this whole early access, we finally got to play with real RNG when it came to gatherables, which I think was fucking great. Like that to me was probably one of the best feeling system changes that we've gotten so far in a year. But with that came certain exploits and dupes that, you know, messed that up a little bit. So once those are patched out, right, and those are now fixed, what will a wipe then do then, right? Because those RMTers or those players will have to think of the next dupe, the next exploit, the next broken thing they can do to fuck up everything, which is also a good thing. The more they do that, the more we can keep fixing, refining, and getting better to where we hopefully don't have that shit at a live launch. Like that's my hope. Let me see, quality rating is messed up. I don't know why they keep introducing more systems when the other systems are completely fucked. Well, like I said, there's so many systems right now that need a lot of adjusting and a lot of love. A lot of them. Like it's not just one, it's plenty, to be honest. It's cool, man. I've played 7 Days to Die since alpha. We know the game's not done. From here, you get an influx of Steam users at every content drop and wipe. Steam users come back for a fresh version. And that's what I mean, right? Like, I think a lot of people too, bro, you know how many times, I played WoW for 20 years, but you know how many times I've said, I fucking hate WoW, I quit, I'm never playing this game again, to then go back and play World of Warcraft? Do you know how many times? If Roar was in chat right now, and I only met Roar a couple of years ago, but if Roar knew me like 15 years ago, and how many times I've said that shit, gamers will always make it seem like you are like, this game is the worst fucking game in the world. Talk to League players, bro. Any fucking League player, and ask them how many times they said, I am done with League of Legends. This game is absolute dog shit. It's trash. It's the worst fucking game imaginable. And then the next fucking day, guess what they're doing? They're playing League of Legends. It happens, dude. So, I mean, I think, again, the people that are like, oh, well, I'm just going to quit and I'm never going to play this game again because this game is so dog shit. I kind of take that even with a grain of salt because I know you're just mad in the moment. As soon as they fix the things that were bothering you, you're like, well, this was a game I was playing isn't really fun anymore. And all my friends are playing Ashes of Creation again. And even though I did say all that shit about Ashes of Creation, I think I'll just, you know, I'll try it again because they did fix the thing I was complaining about. And, you know, it's, bro, and I've been there, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to call you a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite too. I've done that with WoW many fucking times. It's not the end of the world. Leaving your first MMO is always the most difficult. Yeah, and I still haven't. Well, I mean, I haven't paid for my WoW subscription now in months. Like, it's been since mid last year, I think. So, and the only thing I went back to was Legion Remix, but that wasn't even from me. That was a gift actually from Richie. Let me see. With Eve Online, they say I quit Eve, but nobody really quits. The whole thing, I won Eve. You actually kill your tunes and drop it. Yeah, I feel Intrepid took the wrong approach. They should have done focus testing, targeting systems, which they can still do. I feel a wide test shows too many problems to fix, too many irons in the fire. Yeah, potentially, for sure. I mean, but I feel like they need to look at every single aspect of the game system wise anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit they're doing. Yeah, no one talks about Final Fantasy 1.0 anymore. Does anyone know about that? Anyone? Bueller? That's what I mean, right? Like, because it's fixed, because now all of the issues that plagued in the 1.0 version aren't plaguing them anymore. And I feel like the shit that's plaguing you now in early access, once the launch comes out, I am hoping, fingers fucking crossed, that those issues aren't there anymore. There might be new ones, but not the ones that we're dealing with now currently. And this is why I always advocate for people to take a break, take a step back, chill. And even if you don't want to chill, even if you want to burn the whole place to the ground and be all upset because, you know, gear's fucked up or, you know, this thing's fucked up and you're just going to, I get it. I've been many a time pissed off at Blizzard, many a time been pissed off at the shit that the devs did in that game, the nerfs to my class when they were absolutely unnecessary. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out and do that. You know what I mean? Hyping for OCE, like Oceanic users. Why? Oh my God, Wagsy, you shut your dirty mouth. They fixed phishing being busted, but not hot fixing the settlement stuff and the other money making issues is absurd. Well, and that's what I mean, right? Like, this is why I've been like, why aren't y'all saying anything? Like, just fucking say shit, address it. And again, I know they usually do this shit at their monthly live streams, but because we haven't really had any form of communications between the 20th of December till now, like, we need fucking something, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anything. As a software engineer and indie game developer, I think most people severely underestimate how much work goes into making a polished / fun MMORPG in the current market. Oh, I'm sure it's insane. And just by the conversations I've had with a couple of the devs that I've had privately, it sounds like an absolute fucking nightmare. You know, I was, you know, in projects for insurance and like doing big companies and like having to, you know, sign up every employee with like their medical, dental, vision and the ancillary benefits. And there was like 3,000 employees, and then having to work with my team to tackle every section of every department and making sure everyone gets signed up. And there was just so many moving parts just in that for me alone that I can't even fucking imagine what that shit's like in game dev. And then having shit be broken and, you know, stuff being adjusted and being like, hey, the thing you were working on, scratch that. There's a new issue that occurred. This is what fucking happened. So now you're gonna have to adjust this. So all the work you were basically doing all morning is fucking out the window now. And now you got to fucking start all over. Like, it has to be fucking annoying as hell. Like, it just, it doesn't seem fun to me. We actually went back a phase. Vassalization is backwards and broken, but Intrepid is still moving at a breakneck pace overall. Yeah, I think again, like I think for a gaming company, I would say they move very quickly in comparison to even the other projects that I've seen, whether it's PAX Day, whether it's, Chrono, whether it's like any of the Quinfall, just any of the other projects you see. It's insane. Like, it truly is. You see, we've been through this for 2 years of guilds and people doing this with no bans. We are tired of testing and retesting econ just for the same people to fuck it up. Well, but that's the thing though, right? It's like, I understand that you're upset that these people keep fucking it up, but the fucking up part is good, because if no one were to fuck it up, right? And in the alpha, we were all kumbayaing and everything was so great, right? Because no one's doing any kind of exploits or dupings. That doesn't mean that a dupe or an exploit exists. And if we go to a live launch and all of the bad actors then play the live launch when we're not kubayaing anymore, then they'll be discovered when it actually matters. You know what I mean? So again, I'm always for people finding exploits and dupes. It's the people that have been abusing them. I totally understand that. But sometimes the people that do abuse them are the ones that find them out in the first place. And the ones that may have stumbled upon a dupe or exploit, maybe they weren't the first ones to find it. Right. So it's a lot of moving parts. I'm still advocating for bans though. I'm not some, you fucking abuse the fuck out of something, you should be banned for it. Like, that's just my thing. We see giant projects like this almost always an organized car crash to manage. A lot to respect. I worked on smaller teams and it was rough. I can't imagine what this is like. Yeah, I mean, they have over 250 employees all working on Ashes of Creation. That has to be an absolute fucking nightmare. Like I said, the biggest team I ever worked with was about 500. Because we signed up a hospital in Mount Sinai in Maryland, and that was 9,000 hospital employees that 500 of us did. It was in 2 weeks we had to have it all done. That shit, I worked like 15-hour days every single day, like, and everyone did. Like, it was fucking madness. I think that's a good take, Vladis, but at the same time, there's exploiting and detrimenting the entire community. And then there's bug finding. We found bugs like invincible clerics and summoners being able to teleport NPCs anywhere, etc. Nuke the exploiters, reward the hunters. No, for sure. I think, again, it's finding these things and not doing the absurdity of abusing it. And all I'm saying is that sometimes it's the people that abuse it that find it in the first place, and the other ones wouldn't have figured it out. You know what I'm trying to say? So as much as I want those people permanently banned, which they should be permanently banned, like, it's still good that we found the shittiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 100% good we find the shittiness. It sucks to always see, like, every time we wipe, the economy gets fucked because of something stupid. Yes, we get it. That's the entire fucking point of alpha testing, is to find the stupid So when we get to the live launch, there is hopefully no more stupid. Like that's 100%. Some bands went out last night. Did they? Well, I'm still looking at the Discord and I still cannot find a fucking I can't find a list of any kind. Steven has not posted anything. I am really wanting a list. I don't know. It just really bothers me that I haven't found anything yet. But let's keep watching. I feel like gotta keep watching the shit.
Botting extremely easy. You've got level 10 PvP protection, you've got crates that aren't flagged for PvP, and there's no real way for players to deal with the bot runners without corrupting themselves. Caravans used to be some of the best content in the game. They were profitable, they created organic PvP, and they were fun. Crates completely murdered caravans. Cheats are also incredibly easy to find, and that's honestly one of the more concerning parts of this whole thing. You can easily find cheat sites with a simple search right now. There are dozens of websites selling fly hacks, radar, speed hacks, automated gathering bots, all of it. This isn't hidden, it's not underground, it's not some secret Discord, it's just out there.
I saw a discount that it used to be $20 to get this GM fly hack add-on for Ashes of Creation. Now it's $10. It's definitely not hidden. And I think definitely Intrepid knows, because whenever I was finally 100% sure that there was the add-on rarity thing back in the day, and I talked to the devs and the dev says they already had it in their hands and it'll be fixed soon. And I was like, oh, thank fucking Christ. I was like, thank God. Yes, I was like so worried. And of course now you can still use the add-on. Like if you have the add-on, and if you have the add-on, like, how dare you? But if you do have the add-on, like everything in the world is just going to look common to you. Like that's what the rarity is. Like everything's common. The rarity won't actually be predicated until the final thing. So the add-on's just fucking useless now, which is great. Steven has been offline for a few days, and when pinged, he logs off. Yeah, I'm sure, because it's getting kind of nuts. Let me see if Vladis knows me enough to know when I say I got my ducks in a row. Oh yeah, I've known Strixon for a couple of years. So I mean, like me and him were both in Axiom together back in 2021. So like I've known Strixon for a long time. Let me see, how do you know it wasn't in the game? You know, it could be there and also not working currently, right? It's a big deal from a technical standpoint, but hardly something to complain about as a player at this point. What was Wagsy saying? Sorry. Let me see, I'll go back up real quick. Oh, we never got that info, but neither were in the game. People who were told is and ready for implemented for P1. Oh, about the dynamic grading? Got it. Yeah, and we actually had one of the main people for dynamic grading leave, and I said this yesterday on my stream, to Epic. So I don't know if the person that left was like, that was his entire project, like if that was his baby and he passed his baby on to like maybe the next most knowledgeable person like in the IntrepidNet team, or if it was just one of the team members that was working on dynamic grading left. Like I don't know what it was, but I knew one of the people that was working on dynamic grading left to Epic. So let's keep watching.
I've personally sent links to Steven myself, so I know that the team is aware of it. And you'll see players say things like, well, this guy has been fly hacking since phase 2 and nothing's been done. And I get why that's frustrating, but the reality is we don't actually know what's happening behind the scenes. They might have fixed one exploit and then a week later, a new one pops up. That's how this works. These people making these cheats, they're developers too. And as soon as Intrepid closes a door, they're already looking for the next open window. Now,
yeah, they do that all the time. They're like, oh, you closed door A, I'm going through door B now. See ya. Like, that's what they do. That's what they have been doing. I mean, and again, like there were fly hacks I saw in BC in 2007. That's 2 years after the live launch of World of Warcraft. And there were hacks still fucking happening 2 years after the live launch. This isn't an alpha, it's an early access. 2 years in an expansion where fly hacks were happening. So it happens to even multi-billion-dollar companies.
I want to be very clear about something, because this is where a lot of panic comes from. Every MMO has bots. Every MMO deals with RMT. Every MMO fights the exact same war. There is not a single online game on the planet that has ever won against botting. So I'm not freaking out about it. This isn't some Ashes only problem.
So also another thing, Vanguard, which is the kernel level anti-cheat that Riot uses, the amount of I saw a statistic because I looked this up on AI, that 5 out of 10 matches are all done by automated botters. So they're still bypassing even Vanguard, which is a kernel level anti-cheat. Now, Riot, though, does a pretty regular job of initiating ban waves across, which like ban a shit ton of them at a time. But as quickly as they ban is as quickly as these people fucking come right back. So if Riot, a multi-billion-dollar company, like a company that a lot of people trust, have a huge botting problem, how is Intrepid going to solve it? Like, are we expecting them to solve it? Because again, it's never going to feel solved, because even if Intrepid is doing the same consistent ban waves and they come right back, you know, to play Ashes of Creation again through some other alt account or their 7th account that they've bought, it's always going to feel to you as the player that Intrepid is doing nothing about it, even though they are, and they have been. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's the same shit.
Problem, and it's not some sign that the game is doomed tomorrow. The reason it feels so much worse right now is because of a few specific things. First,
I expect them to try to mitigate it. No, exactly. And again, like, I feel like that still wouldn't be a sufficient answer for most people, because to them, they would still see the bots mining the shit, even though they were banning hundreds of players like every single day, right? If they were still banning consistently, because again, it's whack-a-mole. As often as they're banning is as often as they're recreating accounts and going right back in the game and doing the same shit. Like, it's, you know, it's going to feel the same to you as a gamer. And you're going to keep outcrying on Discord of like, I'm still seeing bots, Steven. Why am I still seeing bots? You know, it's that kind of shit. So there's, again, this is why I say to implement as many fucking safeguards as humanly possible and have permanent bans for botting, like, and have it be annoying as fuck for those people to get back in the game, that it's just not going to be worth their time.
the population is smaller. When half of your visible players are bots, of course they're going to stand out way more than they would in a massive, fully launched MMO. Second,
yeah, live
Ashes
GMs won't be able to keep up with it.
A player-driven economy. When bots, armteers, dupers, and exploiters start pumping artificial gold and materials into that system, the damage is way more obvious and way more immediate. And third, this is a game in development. It has way more holes, way more exposed systems, and way more incentives.
And I think, honestly, the thing that might actually be a good thing is this wall of shame, because imagine if this wall of shame gets implemented on the website and you can see a weekly ban list of all the waves of all these names that are like MKL, OYZ, you know, all these like bot names, and you see this constant fucking permanent bans of all these accounts. I think a reasonable person would be like, man, shit, Intrepid's doing a lot to like ban these fuckers, and they're still fucking in the game. It actually would put a reality check on your mentality regarding botting and how you perceive it in the game. Because if you were to see something visual of like, these are all of the accounts that we've banned from 2 weeks ago to now, and we're going to try to update this list on our website like every week or maybe potentially every month, and you can just see the constant fucking waves of just bans. Like, that actually might be really good for the perception that Intrepid is doing something, even though in game it may not look like they're not doing anything. Does that make sense? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Dude, a lot of this shit is very, very predictable, exploits, etc. So saying they do this to find it out is kind of stupid. Well, again, a lot of the botting and a lot of the other games are also super predictable too, but yet they still have an issue with it. Like I said, I just made an example with Riot, and they're a multi-billion-dollar company with their own personal anti-cheat, like kernel anti-cheat. You know what I mean? And as predictable it is in that game, they still bypass it. To me, again, it's about the other mechanisms in place to remove the player as much as possible and not just the account. So they have to be like constant with it and be heavy-handed with it. So when they do buy a new account, they come back even stronger with more bad actors next time. I mean, potentially, and that's what I'm saying. It's it has to be like you have to fatigue the fuck out of them. Like that's my thing. That's how we watch people sell corporate data. You see, Google Arena, what a very interesting. All right, well, let's keep watching.
For people to try to break it, but you also have to understand how banning actually works in practice. People will say, I reported this guy 3 days ago and he's still here. Yeah, because if you ban that account immediately, that person is back in 2 minutes on a new account bought with a stolen credit card. Intrepid knows this. Other MMO devs know this. You can't just trim the leaves. You have to rip the problem out at the root. That means backend protections, detection systems, server-wide validation, and anti-cheat improvements. And none of that happens overnight. And while all of that is going on, you've got systems in the game that make things worse. Level 10 PvP protection means bots can roam freely. Crates not being PvP flagged means players can't realistically hunt them without corrupting themselves. Caravans, which used to be some of the best PvP content in the game, got completely sidelined by crates, and that removed one of the natural pressure valves that kept botting in check. So yeah, it looks bad right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but I'm also not screaming that the sky is falling. This is par for the course for MMOs, especially ones in alpha. My only real concern, and this is the part that actually matters, is timing. Will these systems be brought under control before they drive away too many?
I think PvP protection should be there, but not to level 10. I think level 5 is okay. Like I think, and didn't we have it at level 5 and then we actually bumped it to level 10 originally? PvP protection for a zone. I feel like that would still be problematic. I'm out of the game right now, but because isn't Avion's End and Brymore Farms, is that still in the safe zone or is that out of the safe zone? Like the white part of the map. Because I also feel like that would be a bad thing too, because bad actors that are level 25s could constantly be going in and out there if you actually safe protect the zone and not the player. Does that make sense? Like I think the zone is actually probably even a worse idea than the player, to be honest. I wouldn't say zone, I would say like Lionhole area, the Grims, level 3 Highman Hills, the Goblins north of yeah, but are you saying remove the crates from that area? Well, I feel like the crates are there on purpose to help like the starting players get some kind of gold with all the other settlements that haven't been up to level 3 yet. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way in the Riverlands to actually use the crate system to go from like Avion's End to Brymore Farms to like make gold, you know, or make some kind of silver, right? And because on a fresh start server, like it's pretty hard to make silver, you know what I mean, without you just grinding shit. So neuter the area, then do that. The zone is fine because people won't engage on it. In UO, they have the bridge outside of Brit, and people would play on that line, and you just be like, I'm okay, I'm out, and go somewhere else. Okay. I mean, like I said, I'm not all hard pressed of it. I mean, I wouldn't mind testing it or trying it, see if that works. But yeah, I feel like, you know, it'd be worth to try. Just make it to you only can do it so many times. It should be a limited amount. Okay. It'd be nice to get PvP flagged when you have a high quality crate or something like that. Well, a lot of people were saying that if you do commons or uncommon crates, that you should not be flagged. But if you're doing anything rare plus, that there should be a flag once you're out of like 50 meters of a settlement, which I would agree with that. Like I would be totally fine with something like that.
Legitimate players? Or does the damage pile up faster than Intrepid can fix it? That's the question, not whether bots exist, they always will, but whether Ashes gets them to the point where they feel more like background noise instead of the main character. We also saw some absolute chaos with the mayorship system. One guild managed to control multiple mayor positions because citizenship cooldowns were removed. And this wasn't some exploit, it was just the players using the system exactly as it exists today. They would vote, drop citizenship, move on, and repeat. Then taxes got cranked to the max and buildings got burned down and entire settlements were effectively griefed. Some players loved it, pure political chaos. Other players logged in and had no idea why the crafting stations that they used yesterday were suddenly gone. There has to be a balance between the hardcore political gameplay and completely alien.
Make the citizenship CD 30 days. I feel like it's a long time. Like I feel like a week cooldown would be okay, personally. I think 30 days is pretty excessive. But yeah, I think a week would be okay for in my eyes, to like join a new settlement. Um, let's compromise 14 days. I'm down to test either or. I know what settlement that I want to be a part of personally, so I'm not the target demographic for this particular thing either. Like I always usually go Jova because that's like where I am. I remember in phase 3 when Winstead actually became the tier 4. I remember Restriction, you were the mayor of fucking Winstead, but I was still a citizen of Jova. Like as soon as Jova went stage 3, I immediately got citizenship there because that's just where I am naturally all the time. Like that's the best central point for me and where I go in all my routes and where I kind of do shit. So I'm not the one that's going to be abusing that particular like citizenship exploit or the citizenship thing. In the mayoral roundtable with Steven, a bunch of us in there asked for longer citizen CDs, removal of flying mounts, and a bunch of other things. Steven was on board with everything except the CD and the removal of flying mounts. Honestly, like I think flying mounts need to be gone too. I think the CD, like the fact that he doesn't want a CD is kind of weird to me personally. I think even having just a couple of days would be something to test for sure. But yeah, to have no CD on it and just immediately go from one thing to another, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Removal of fly mounts till tier 5 is all we asked. Oh, that's reasonable. That's totally reasonable. I think that would be way better. But I also feel like even in tier 5, you should have a more I feel like you should have a more watered down version of a flying mount comparatively to other games. I think having a true flying mount national creation is terrible. There needs to be so many caveats to that. Like as one, if you have any kind of materials in your materials bags, you cannot fly. You should be grounded. So yeah, there needs to be a lot of that shit. I also think that you have flying paths. Like I think if you want to go from the Riverlands to, you know, the Anvils, I think there should be a flight path to go there. Like I'm down to even having one flight path per zone, right? So let's say as an example, you had to go to, I don't know, not a settlement, but like somewhere like neutral potentially. Let's say like north of Lionshold, and there's like a flying mount there where that circle lake is. And there's like a flying path person there. And you know, you can fly there to like Avian, or not Avian's End, but to like to the tropics or to June Dark or to somewhere else. And there's like only one flight path per zone. I'm totally fine with that. And again, you can't use that flight path. Like if you have materials in your bags, you can't, it'll tell you like you cannot do that. Like you need to get rid of your materials. Like I think that's fine, you know, but I think having an actual flying mount where you can see the entire world and also get materials, it's so fucking broken and overpowered. It's ridiculous. I'm good with this idea, but you can't have any mounts on crates. Yeah, no mounts. Or if you have a flying mount, you can't have a crate on your back. You can't have any materials in your bags. I also feel like too, I would actually also be okay that you can only fly within your mayoral ZOI. So if you're the mayor of, let's say, Winstead, you can fly in Winstead like a true flying mount or within the Winstead ZOI, but anytime you go outside of Winstead, your flying mount turns into a gliding mount. So you can only fly within the citizenship of your mayorship, but outside of that, your flying mount basically just turns into a gliding mount. And you should still even have the same restrictions. Can't do crates, can't have materials, even on a gliding mount. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Why is Winstead in the crosshairs? God, no, I'm just saying, because I just remember like when you were the mayor of Winstead. Again, like I'm not a fan of I'm okay with fly mounts usually, like in a more PvE like MMO setting, but with Ashes, it's so broken. It is beyond broken. So
Aiding casual players who don't live in Discord and YouTube drama videos. Steven and the team have acknowledged the solo player issue. And that's actually a good thing because it's very real. This isn't some hypothetical future problem. It's happening right now. If your MMO doesn't support the solo and casual players in some meaningful way, it dies. period. We've seen this over and over again in the genre, and I felt it firsthand. I started this phase on a summoner. I got it up to level 18, and then I hit the same wall every DPS player in every MMO eventually hits. You log in, you stand around, you spam looking for group, you wait and wait and wait, sometimes an hour, sometimes longer, and eventually you start asking yourself, why am I even logged in right now? This isn't a summoner problem. This isn't an Ashes specific class balance issue.
Later,
this
brother.
is just the reality of
Have a good day at work, man.
MMOs. DPS are disposable, supports are mandatory, and tanks and healers control the pace of a game. If you're a DPS without a pre-made group, the experience is immediately worse. And in a game this grind heavy, that friction really adds up. So
What's up, Rain? He's like, Strixon stole Winstead from Maxim and basically killed that guild that's targeted him. God. I haven't even talked to anybody from Axiom in a long time, to be honest with you. And you know the whole drama that happened with Axiom. So I mean, it was crazy, but I mean, it's not my guild anymore. I mean, I wish him the best, but I don't know. Like for me, I found my people. So a bunch came over to Aura. Nirvana is here and also sad, by the way. I say hi to, excuse me. Unless you're a DPS player who likes gathering and crafting. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I think with Roar, he does make a really good point. If you are and have been trying to do the whole like group mindset of like doing the POIs and grind for hours, it gets harder and harder. Especially because the more and more people that get up to level 25 or in their 20s, like there's just not a lot of groups happening. And the other main issue too, and this is something that I foresaw a long time ago, was the fact that there's only one healer and one tank in Ashes of Creation. And guess what? No one likes to play fucking tank. So you'll be there and you'll be looking for a group, and you may have a group that has a summoner that's tanking for you, or you have a bard that could be healing for you, because even clerics are hard to come by too. So it's, yeah, bard can heal, so can summoner-ish. Yeah, it's what I mean, right? So that's something that I've never liked. Years ago, I complained about this, and I thought this is going to be such a shit show, because it's a shit show even in games that have like 3 or 4 tank options and 3 to 4 healer options, and you're still constantly looking for healers and tanks. Oh, and then have a game only have one option? Of course it was going to be a fucking issue. Of course it was going to be a fucking issue. Oh my god.
I did what a lot of players end up doing. I rerolled Cleric, and the difference was night and day. A couple days later, I was max level. Clerics, they get into anything they want whenever they want. You don't wait for groups, the groups, they wait for you. If you want to run a dungeon, you're in. You want to farm elites, you're in. You want to do literally anything that requires more than one person, you're in. And the Cleric itself is fine. You've got every heal imaginable. Single target heals, group heals, burst heals, hots. It's all there.
Well, the complaints from tank isn't the fact that tank sucks. Tank is a very serviceable tank. It's the fact that it's boring. Every tank main that Roar is a main tank. A lot of the people that I've talked to that are main tanks have all said the same consensus, that it's just by the numbers kind of tank. It is very boring. Does it do its job? Yes. Can it do its job well? Depending on who you ask, but it's not fun. And this is not something that I am saying. I'm just echoing the things that other people have said. I've seen people say, oh, tank is so much fun to me. I've had a blast with it or whatever. And that's fine. But I'm just saying the people I've talked to, the people that I've known that have been main tanks in MMOs, Roar is a main tank. He always plays tank. Guess what? He's not playing tank. You know, a couple of people in my guild that are main tanks from other MMOs are also not playing tank. Like, if that doesn't say something, like, I don't know what is, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, playing tank is easy, but playing it well isn't easy. Clerics are boring too. I miss my bard so much. Yeah, I haven't played tank or haven't played cleric either. Those are the two classes I have never actually created a character on and never attempted to try. It would be interesting. I wouldn't mind actually making a tank or a cleric just to see what's up, because I love paladin, and if I could have a like a cleric fighter, like I would be so down for that personally. Cleric is cakewalk. Well, cleric is very powerful. I mean, they're like an S tier class, so I would assume so. All right, let's keep watching.
It works. It's viable. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with the class. But that contrast is the issue. When the difference between playing a DPS and playing a support is that extreme, it exposes a bigger problem with how solo and casual players fit into the game. Not everybody wants to reroll a healer just to be allowed to participate. And if the only way to consistently play a game is to fill a very mandatory role in that group, you're going to lose a lot of players who just want to log in, make progress, and feel that their time is respected. And that's why I'm actually glad that Steven acknowledged it publicly. We don't know what more solo friendly means yet, but it has to mean something, because if Ashes wants a healthy long-term player base, it can't just be designed around organized groups and hardcore schedules. There has to be space for new people who want to play a few hours a night, who don't want to live in Discord, who aren't interested in re-rolling their character just to get invited for content. That balance is going to matter a lot more than people realize. I'm still excited about the 64 class system and augments and the long-term progression to level 50, but you know, that's all future stuff. Right now,
I think, you know, when it comes to the whole MMO of like group-based MMO, solo player MMO, I think MMOs need to have a good balance of both. The problem is that there isn't a good balance of both. Most of these MMO companies have gone all in on solo play. Group play feels so completely ancillary and tacked on, and Ashes has almost a necessity of it. That's the biggest difference. And the reason why people are calling for more of like the solo style is because that's what people have been used to. We've been conventionalized into it. Many of the MMOs have gone more and more and more and more of the casual solo route. And when a game doesn't have it, it feels very foreign. It feels very weird. You know what I'm saying? And so I think with Ashes, I really do love the fact that they promote, and it has a very much a healthy mindset of group aspect, of bringing the group back into MMOs, right? But since we've been so catered and so almost institutionalized into solo gameplay, I am pretty grateful that Steven recognizes that. And as much as I've been playing the game solo, and I've been having a pretty good time, but ultimately, like, I kind of want to do shit with my guild. And I told my guild leader, I said, the next time if we do wipe or whatever, I'm going to be doing shit with you guys. Cause like, I want to get in the groups. I want to get in the grind groups. I want to just whiz past leveling and not having to worry about it. And then go on my casual spree of gathering and fishing and just doing all the shit that I want to do. But just getting the leveling out of the way. And, you know, honestly, and having a good time, dude. I love, you know, hanging out with my guildies and being in chat with them and just the camaraderie and shit like that, right? And again, I think the reason why solo play is also kind of addictive, especially if you're an introvert. Personally, I'm not an introvert, but I like my chill time. It's just the fact that whenever you're just feeling zombied out, you log into your favorite game and you can do some loops, listen to some lo-fi or listen to your favorite music and just veg out. Like, that's one of the most satisfying feelings as a gamer. And when you can't do that in your favorite game, especially one that's an MMORPG, it feels weird. Like, it feels like you can't relax in this game, which is why I think the most relaxing loop is the hitting rocks aspect, right? So it is what it is. You see, Final Fantasy 11 was very forced group play over the years. It made basically solo / multi-box. It lost its flair of the early 2000s MMO. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy 14 in 2005. And I only played it for 3 months because I de-leveled on my pugilist from level 30 to 26. And that was my I quit moment. Because yes, you were right. After level 10, I think you can only solo from levels 1 through 10. And then from levels 10 onward, I think 7 through 75, you could only do anything in a fucking group. If you were trying to do any kind of a mob by yourself, you were going to 100% die. At least that's the way it was back in 2005. Let me see. I think they kept the group aspect, but add some more quality of life stuff like the party bulletin board. Let's find some groups without turning the game into an instanced MMO. Yeah, I think I'm down with that. I think Steven's down with that too. I've heard the whole talk of like having a kind of community board inside settlements where, just like the marketplace, you can advertise like, hey, like if you're in Cephalian, you go to the nearest settlement like Nuela or Ajova and say like, hey, we're in Cephalian, like sign up on our roster or whatever. Like, I love that. Or maybe even something totally different. Like, I'm on a quest. Like, do people want to do this, you know, long chain quest with me? Right. Like, think of like the, that fucking one where you have to go into Cephalian and then go up like the rock stairs and, you know, stuff like that. Right. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit that why you could need like multiple people. Maybe you want to put a group together to fucking kill a named mob, you know, I'm totally down for that shit. You know what I mean? And having a place where you can go in and see like wanted ads, I think is fine. I think it's the more instant LFG where I queue up and then I instantly teleport and I go into this instance. I think that's what people don't want. And of course, Ashes isn't going to do that, but it doesn't mean that we can't have some kind of looking for group system that isn't this teleporty, don't know the players, they aren't from your server kind of feeling either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we can have some middle ground there. Crazy how many people say Ashes is a grind while I look at it as just fun. Have group but 90% solo and love the complexity. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing mostly everything that I've been doing since I've been live streaming Ashes and this early access has been pretty much solo. I've only grinded with my guild for 2 levels when I was level 13 to 15, and that was it. Let me see. Can you help from the inform the devs that rogue skills still need some rework to blend into the group grind, as groups are not accepting rogues as DPS right now? Well, groups are also not accepting fighters. I mean, fighters have always, you know, even though we do really good damage in a group, like we don't really bring anything to the table. Rogues actually do bring stuff to the table with like smoke bomb or smoke screen or whatever it is. But fighters really don't bring anything. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of shit they have to. Strixon, brother. You didn't have to do that, dude. Oh my God, dude. Shit, fucking 20 gifted subs, dude. Are you kidding me? Bro. You didn't have to do that, man. Thank you, man. Holy shit, dude. That was super fucking generous of you, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, if you got a sub from Strix, man, just go give him a heart and chat, dude. Thank you so much, man. Seriously. The days when you had to run to the dungeons and wow, I miss those days. Well, and that's what I mean. You're still, and I feel like that's still going to be the case with Ashes, right? Like if you find your group, you're going to freaking mount up if you're in Jove and be like, oh my God, I finally found my civilian group because of this wanted board. Now you're riding to civilian to meet up with your group. You know what I'm saying? like it's that kind of thing that I think old school, like keeping the old school vibe with new school, like quality of life things where it can like where we can have them without it impeding or interfering with the old school MMORPG vibe. And that's a hard blend. It really is, because there's so many now conveniences that people are used to that would ruin an old school vibe, because then it wouldn't really be old school anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's a hard fucking thing to get there. Let me see. Don't worry about it. I need someone thinking I'm actually RMTing while I hunt these RMTers. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Let me see. Ramrocks, dude, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Verothian 23, thank you so much for the follow as well, brother. Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far, and hopefully enjoying the discussion that we're having. You see people coming at me hard in the Discord, and it was out that I had the Fini files, so I just been chilling. My God. You see reagent is a dumb thing. I'm gonna be honest, it's tedious. Just add that into the process crafting stations, or either make it drop from mobs or something. Yeah, I think the whole vendor reagents thing, I don't know why that exists personally. Like I would rather just have it gone. Like I would rather just not deal with it personally, but I feel like they would just put the extra cost just baked into the bench process. And I feel like we need the bench processing cost a little bit nerfed, to be honest with you. Not too much nerfed, but I think they do. The price nerfs need to happen for processing because it can get very fucking ridiculous very quickly. And I think we already have enough gold sinks personally. But I think the people that are constantly swimming in money are probably usually because they're doing fucking shady shit. But I also know that there are some legitimate people that just know how to make money in Ashes, like a lot of it. Yeah, there's just, to me, I think there's just way too many fucking gold sinks. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't think, like, I'm all down for gold sinks, but we don't even have a lot of ways to make like real gold yet. And caravans was a huge thing of that. But now it's like these more ancillary things like sports fishing. That's what a lot of people are doing, the saltwater sports fishing. But now with like, there's problems with that, with the whole boats and the destruction there, which like you can buy another boat for 18 or 25 gold. That's fucking ridiculous. There's like so many fucking things that's just, you're constantly just going like, just like this in gold, just like up, down, up, down, up, down. Like it's wild.
Now, content is still extremely limited. Riverlands is still where everything happens. Other zones exist, but they're basically just monsters with no real gameplay loops. Harbingers was supposed to be the big early access feature, and it's completely broken. It's overtuned, buggy, it randomly flags people for PvP, and if that happens in town, the guards one-shot you. Nobody is doing Harbingers. Sports fishing, on the other hand, has been surprisingly fun. It came out of nowhere, and it's chill.
In my opinion, they need to update crafting. I tried making myself some XP scrolls, and crafting one at a time is horrible. Should be like processing, can do as many as, yeah, no, I've actually set that feedback to them. And I've also set the feedback to for especially for processing, to start at the top process and not having to do all of the other processes like beforehand, right? So when you're making like processed dried boards for ash, like if you want to make processed dried ash boards, if you have all the materials, I think you should be able to craft processed boards and giving everything in that process, rather than, oh, well, you need to first make all of your ash timbers, then you need to have your raw ash, and then you need to have your boards. Like, fuck all that. Like, do one whole fucking process. I'll give you all the fucking mats. Here's 300 raw ash. Make it into processed dried boards in 2 hours. I don't give a shit. Like, that's what I want personally. Let me see. Agreed. I hit journeyman weaponsmithing after crafting the same shield 1,000 times. Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculous. Like, and there's no reason for it to be that way. I think if you pump in the mats, you should be able just to get them out just like a processing station would. I don't know why they haven't done that. I think that's like a pretty easy, just copy paste processing and then just literally relabel it crafting instead of processing station. It's like, it's already there for you guys. Fishing is broken now too. Yeah, I know. I haven't seen a sports fishing hole in the Riverlands in a couple of days now. I have not. And I've been making money literally just selling my materials from my storage, because there's no other way I can make money right now. Not many people in the sea due to the cost. I think they should be allow boats to repair like 5 gold or a ton of material sinks like wood. Oh yeah, that's, I mentioned that yesterday, Nicholas. I literally said, like, I don't know why, like, I think you should be able to take your destroyed boat back to the harbor and then repair it with either gold or actual like materials. Like, I don't know why that's not a thing. That's okay but to balance, I think you need a queue system. Like, after 100 timbers, make 100 boards, then make 100 dried boards. Well, I think if you want to do the whole process, like, I think it should just be as intuitive as you want it to be. Right? Like, if I want to make, like, in a single process, like 10 dried boards, but I want to keep, 25, or I want to make processed dried boards, but I want to keep, 25 just regular ash boards, like, I should be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Like, I think the UI should be intuitive enough to where I can just pump all the materials, do one click. Because right now, I think that how tedious it is to do all the different clicks and all the ways, and then especially with how your storage can't really do, like, you have to have everything on your person too. And depending on how many materials you have, can be very cumbersome. The fact that you can't even pull from your storage tabs from the bench in the settlement that has all those fucking materials, 100%. Like, let me fucking sell a stack of 60 instead of just 20s. Love your page, bro. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, man. Okay, let's keep watching real fast because we're almost done with this video.
It makes some money, and it's a nice break from the grind. It does get a little competitive, but it was a solid addition. In-game right now is pretty thin. Leveling still takes a long time, especially solo, and the gap between solo and group play is massive. Gear barely drops, so most people are grinding emblems for crafting. Crafting itself is extremely overtuned, with material requirements that they don't make any sense, and the grind is starting to wear people down. I mean, 73 boards for a mid-level bow, it's not cool. Grind does not equal hardcore. Difficulty should come from effort in decision making, not just time sinks. So where does that leave us? I've had fun. I'm not going to pretend that I haven't. I have streamed all of it, and we've had some really great moments. But that fun has a shelf life, and Intrepid has a lot of work to do. This game was not ready for Steam. Player numbers are already dropping. The grind is setting in, and there just isn't enough content yet. But Ashes today is...
I feel like the content, there isn't enough working content. Like, yes, there's enough content for sure. There's not enough working content. like that to me is like the other thing about it too. And again, I think most people keep on saying like, oh, I don't want to label this anymore as an alpha because this is launched on Steam now and this is early access and they should have been way further along. And again, it's because people have so many definitions of like what a Steam launch should be. But like, I feel like if they just would have waited, we would have been in our own community, still doing with this, still playing everything, still testing everything. Like, I don't know. It didn't need to be this way, but I felt like it was this way because of reasons we just don't know. So, let me
Not
finish.
the ashes a year from now. I truly believe that, but I really hope it changes before it's too late. I want this game to succeed. I just don't want to pretend it's fine when it's not. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching.
Very true.
And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.
All right, Roar. Good video, brother. His lining is crazy. His lining? I don't know what you mean. I just finished Roar's video. We just finished Roar's video too. So if you have not seen my buddy Roar on his YouTube channel, how dare you? I'm sure you have. If you wanted to go find some crates or saw his video on crates, he did an amazing guide on the crate system. Oh, it's lining. Yeah, he used to be Vegeta, but you know, he gained a little bit of weight. You know, he's in his GT era, but you know, he's good. He's good. He's good. He also has his own website. I think he does. Hold on real fast. Let me see. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Oh, that's right. So if you go to stashesofcreation.com and hit enter, it should go to Roar. It should go to Roar's Twitch, which I think is pretty fucking funny. But yeah, he has his own little website. It's pretty funny. It feels like a test bed, not a game. There's so many one-off systems in the game. For instance, mom's leveling with node level in the desert. No other region has that. Well, it is. I mean, again, this is why I've been saying this is an alpha test, because it is. Like, yes, people I know keep labeling it early access. And I think if you are an early access person and you're like, man, this game's really rough, it's like, well, yes, because it's literally in a real alpha state, like not some beta, you know, early preview thing. Like this game still needs like years to go. And so it's just one of those things that I wish they would have just been a little bit more, you know, not wanting to release, you know what I mean, right now, because I just don't think it was time, especially on Steam. But even though it has released, it's mixed on Steam. It is what it is. I think it's just one of those things that as we continue forward, Negas Luffy, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far, man. As we approach closer to beta and we have the 64 class system, we have the settlement system in the complete finished status, as far as like all 5 levels, all of the balancing, all of the things, the problems, the issues, complaints that we have with like the stations, with mayorship, with buy orders, with the happiness system, which we don't even have introduced right now either. Like there's still so many systems that are completely offline. We don't even have like the static freeholds that are in settlements right now. We don't have freeholds just at all right now. We don't even have the full naval system out right now. Like there's just so many things that we have to do. Just got killed by a guard in town. I wasn't flagged. Did you happen to participate in the whatchamacallit, the Harbingers event? Because if you took part in the Harbingers event, there's still a bug there where it could literally flag you randomly and basically kill you. So hopefully that's not the case. But if that was the case, then that's why it happened. Nope, ran into Jova and died. Wow, that's concerning. That's like super fucking concerning that happened then, because that shouldn't be happening. And honestly, I will want to give another shout out to Intrepid because it's fall and we are not seeing snow. It's actually just like it feels like fall weather. And this is the first time I've ever seen fall, because usually, like, I'm not even joking, the first day of fall felt like the first day of winter. And we had like 2 winter cycles in a row. It just felt so fucking terrible. And the fact that we actually have like a legit fall season is pretty good. Lost 30 epic zinc. I understand, brother. And believe me, I would be fucking upset too. Because right now I've been farming zinc and trying to get zinc. And yeah, it is what it is. Planadorf been productive since he's been back? Yeah, for sure. I think his entire team has been pretty productive. Have you experienced the auction house caravan block? They've been pulling it right on top of the auction guy and just leaving it. Really? No, I have not experienced that. At least not in Jova. That sounds fucking terrible. Again, there's a lot of things that we need to like hammer out. And this is why, like, in my mind, like Steven's saying like they're gunning, because he didn't say that, oh, we're going to be in beta by the end of the year. Like, he didn't say that. If you actually read the tweet, he says that they're gunning, like they're aiming for beta by the end of the year. But do you know how many times they've aimed for a target to hit and it didn't happen? Plenty. So this is why I don't think they're going to keep the beta this year. I think, again, it could be pushed out. I think I said as earliest as I would expect it would be probably June of next year, like realistically. It was on the Jova marketplace all day. Really? I guess I was an idiot just not paying attention or something. I don't know. That's kind of wild. We see it snows on the fall up here north. So snow and fall is legit for some of us. So I'm not a fan, like, or I would say, hey brother, what's going on? I don't know if you're watching the stream or not, but hi, what's going on, man? I don't mind a little bit of snow. Like, I don't, but it legitimately felt like winter in fall. And I think, you know, I want more of like the Ohio fall where it's like right this, like, you know, you have like almost like a dead looking grass, you know, the trees are looking very autumnish, you know, like stuff like that. I think is really, really good. Did you play back in Alpha 1 with UE4? I did not. I was actually watching streams of Ash's people then and looking at the project. And then I bought my package, not in July of 2021, which I fucking should have, because that was the epic Siron or Saron, you know, fucking set that, you know, has on, and I didn't have that. Ohio has every season in a week. So does New Mexico. Like in March, when I lived in New Mexico in 2006, in March, it was like the second week of March, we literally experienced every fucking climatal change. It snowed, it rained, it was hot, it was cold, like everything in a fucking week. Like New Mexico was also super bipolar, like climate wise. They should have done Steam until testing dynamic gridding, because now when you do, you won't have the numbers. They ain't coming back. They're coming back. Again, like I think a lot of the people that say like, oh, these people are never coming back. And I mentioned this earlier, like, I don't know if you were here, Ray, or not, but I basically said, for any person that plays an MMO and says, oh my God, I'm never coming back. Like, look at the people that played New World and said, oh my God, I'm never coming back. And then those people ended up coming back. Maybe it wasn't right away, but again, once the game gets better and there's like this hype wave, and then you have these other content creators that are also playing the game that you said that you quit and you wouldn't play again, and everybody's playing it, and you feel like, oh, I don't want to feel left out, or, oh man, they did make some good changes, or this game does look fun, or, you know, whatever. Like, again, people talk a lot of shit on the internet because they like to claim this like permanence of a decision, which is never permanent. You just have a lot of very passionate gamers, or a lot of passionate MMO players that like to talk shit. And believe me, I talk shit all the time too about the games that I like or not. Let me see. It was 60 on Christmas and then -5 the day after this past holiday. Holy shit. That's kind of nuts. Oh, they're coming back. Oh yeah, they are. You are the only AOC creator I watch. Brother, you should be watching some other ones, man. Like, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I mean, there's a lot of really good content creators, like my boy Phantom X from 30 Forge. You have Warrior, Nice Gaming. Also he's probably one of the biggest content creators for Ashes when he makes videos about Ashes of Creation. You have my boy Copium, Dr. Burns. Like, oh my God, dude, like you're missing out. like I feel like I'm all right, like as a content creator, but man, like the doctor, dude, Dr. Burns, man, like he's probably my favorite content creator in the space. Like I love his content. I think the way he edits and the way he does his scripts and his opinions about the game is just, it's very fun to watch. And he like is, you know, oh yeah. And Zyback, dude. Yeah. I watched, cause I guess maybe because I am a content creator, I'm in the space. Like I see a lot of the content creators out there that are making content. Yeah, I actually watched yesterday for the first time, Jonah Vale. I've never seen him before. I've never met him, never talked to him before, but I watched his video that he did, kind of what Roar did, right? Just kind of going over like his take on Ashes of Creation, and he's the mayor of Rats, and at least on Shoal. And I found his video to be interesting. Like, I mean, I agreed with a lot of his points for sure. Let me see. Zabak always posts his videos in Guild. The AI slop is glorious, dude. Yeah, I know the AI slop is fucking funny, dude. I love it. It's so good. Let me see. In my opinion, at least, yeah, maybe back, but on release. Yeah, I know, and that's where it matters. I really, not saying I don't care if they come back in an alpha or even the betas, because to me that's not where it really matters. What matters is the launch, and I feel like, especially in the MMO, because we don't have MMOs come out often. Right now, Dreadmist just came out, right? And it's by like the solo dev or whatever, and everybody's fucking playing it. Like, it happens all the time. So it's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I think, again, just a lot of people like to talk shit. Yeah, but you have the best hat. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I mean, honestly, I kind of stole this moniker from Steven because in 2017, when they were at PAX, or 2018 actually, when they were at PAX West, they had red hats that said "Make MMOs Great Again" in 2017, and I was like, dude, I was so upset that I did not have that hat, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna make my own Lattice gaming store and sell them myself, and that's what I did. You see, AO, new to this game, it slaps. What server are you on? Any guild recommendations? Well, first of all, I got to find out what server you're on. But I am on the Shoal server. So if you let me know what server you're on, I can probably recommend a guild for you to join, potentially, depending on, I don't know if you're EU, if you're NA, but you know, let me know. Let me see. Companies feel solo/co-op is the way to get, which in my opinion is horrible. Well, I feel like if you're talking about like why these gaming companies always make these solo friendly games, is because it's safe. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like a safe bet to make a very solo friendly MMORPG. You see, I'm on EU Lotharia. Phantom's Guild is in Lotharia, I think. I believe he's still playing on Lotharia. So if you look up Theory Forge or look up the Theory Forge Guild on Lotharia, like my boy Phantom X is in that guild. So I would definitely recommend to go to his guild. So yeah. Any good guild on Lyneth? Wait, did Phantom move to Verra? I thought he was going to play on the EU server. I could have sworn he was going to play on Lotharia. Fuck. I don't know, because I am not an EU person. So I honestly don't know who's on. You just met him like in real life, Strixum, or in game, or like where? Let me see. I was referring to Enshrouded, where winds meet, etc. It's a solo world. You can invite people in for a co-op. Horrible replacement for MMOs. Well, to me, that's not really an MMO replacement. That's just like an MMO light, is what I always say. You know what I mean? It's not really in Discord, I was talking to him and didn't realize he was a streamer or a content creator. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, he is. I've talked to Phantom X several times on my 1v1. I've talked to him privately. I think he's a really good dude. I think he's became an amazing content creator, to be honest. I think if he literally just keeps it up, just keeps the momentum up, and even if he doesn't improve, because I feel like right now he's at a level right now where I can see him easily have like 100,000 subscribers. But if he keeps improving, man, he's going to be potentially one of the biggest content creators in the space. Not saying the biggest, but one of the biggest for sure. Let me see. True, as companies stop making MMOs, it feels like they're making the co-op stuff because it's cheaper to maintain. Well, it's also because, again, to make an MMO, like a true MMORPG, is fucking time consuming and it costs a shit ton of money. So these companies are always trying to find the alternative solution kind of thing, right? It's their version of high fructose corn syrup. Like, why make real sugar, or why get real sugar when we can just make this fake artificial shit? And it's cheaper, it's easier, it's, you know, it's better for them. And that's the thing. Like, those fucking co-op games are basically the high fructose corn syrup of the MMORPG genre. Mullet Daddy, thank you so much for the follow, brother. Thank you. Let me see. Hey man, where is the best place to farm glint, and how does it work? Do you have to be in the range of the mobs levels to farm glint for them? So I believe as long as you're within the 10 level range, mobs will drop stuff. If you're not within that range, then nothing's going to drop from them. And I feel like for glint farms, like it really depends on what level you are. So Callie, like, I don't know what level you are in game, but if you get to 25, I will get to level 25. I promise you, I will this phase for sure. You're level 25. Man, there's some people, like, it depends too where you are. If you're in the Anvils or if you're in the Riverlands, there's some really good mobs right here, and you can actually gather a lot of them. They're minotaurs and stuff like that, or even bears, but probably just the minotaurs, and you can gather them all up and get some really good glint, and you could potentially get some journeyman gear too. So don't hit 25, you'll lose the drip of dopamine. To me, I get more dopamine personally from my gathering shit than I do my leveling shit, to be honest with you. I literally dinged to level 18 by processing. And I was like, oh shit, I'm level 18 finally. Because I mean, I don't know, like I said, because I'm doing this all solo, I don't really have like the dopamine of like, because I'm not focusing on leveling. Does that make sense? Because I'm not focusing on it, I'm not really paying attention to it. You see, crafting is fun in this game. Crafting can be. I mean, again, I think right now, like if you're having fun with it, man, I can't wait for you to wait just 6 more months or even 3 more months once we have like more changes and refinements to that system, because I guarantee you it's going to get even more fun. It definitely is. Although I get it, trying to learn the game myself, but my account has 1 level 14 and the rest are 20 to 22. Don't want end game to ruin my fun. Well, right now, there is no end game to ruin your fun. I mean, just being honest with you, brother, like there really isn't an end game right now. Like all the end game loops are basically just hitting rocks or doing like a PvP skirmish with the guild, or maybe doing a guild war. Like there isn't much end game to be had right now, which is why a lot of players are really upset with the game. Okay, sorry, where was that farm spot again? In the Riverlands? I feel like a good spot is right here. Right next to Ursine Caves. There's a bunch of level like 20, like level 19 to 20 minotaurs. And I feel like that would be a really, really good glint farm for you for your level. That's like super easy. Like if you're level 25 and you are like in complete, even white common radiant gear, like that would be a really good spot to like get your stuff up. I hope structured PvP is next update. Lack of level 25 PvP is what is causing all the griefers, in my opinion. They are PvP focused and bored. Well, I think the next thing they need to do is literally nerf the fuck out of the crate system and buff the fuck out of the caravan system. Like if you bring caravans back and a reason to do caravans, like that alone will provide a lot of really good shit. The other thing, and I've mentioned this before, is having a rotating lawless zone, or I'm sorry, more specific, a rotating lawless settlement ZOI on the non-starting areas. So like what I mean by that is in the desert, in the June Dark, in the tropics, and once we get the Badlands and the Redwood area, you would have a zone. What I mean by that is like Athenar. So all of Athenar. So I know when I highlight over it, it's because of the vassalship, everything kind of lights up. But instead of a lawless area, which is basically just like a small circle here, you would basically have the entire ZOI of Athenar become a whole lawless, zone. And of course, the settlement itself would be white, right, during that period. So you can go into that period, go into the zone, and then you would wait a little bit, and then you would flag as a non-combatant, then you go into town, do what you got to do, or whatever. And then once you leave the settlement, you flag back up as non-combatant, and there's just PvP fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? So like, and I think those should last about an hour. You know what I mean? And then they rotate. So then now Athenar isn't the thing anymore. Now it's going to be, this zone that I can't fucking pronounce. And this zone's going to be a lawless zone for an hour with the same kind of thing. And then once that goes down, then it's going to be this zone right here, Corin, that's going to be the lawless settlement ZOI. Like if they do that, like, I think that would be really, really cool. And then just add like certain like lawless trophies that drop from people or whatever, and have like some vanity stuff that you can get from there. Like, I think that'll be fine. They said already they nerfed caravans so more people would run mules to get a lot of data on mules. Mules and caravans will be patched in this year's first big patch. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. And to me, like, I think getting the data is important for sure. But I think, to just get back to a more realistic structure of the mechanics of PVX, I think is just way better. And I think learning their lessons from the crate system, like, I'm curious to know what they learned from the system. Callie17, thank you so much for the sub, man. Thank you. And the follow. Really do appreciate that. Let me see. Finally, the YouTube title I was waiting on, ban list this year. What up, Nice? How you doing, brother? Yeah, man. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just so disappointed, dude. Like, I was really just talking earlier about how I really just want communication. Like, any communication, not even about the ban list. Like, what's the next major patch? When's the PTR coming back? What have you guys been working on? What is the next focus for this major update that's coming up soon-ish, whenever that is? Like, I don't know, just like the fact that we've gotten nothing. It just, and I said this earlier, it's like we were just left on red, because clearly we were getting people pinging Stevie, pinging Margaret. Like, they know our concerns. They know the things that are like making us frustrated, and yet we get nothing. Like, I just feel like it's kind of ridiculous, how the crates / caravans work. Further away you make more. Yes. So imagine if you were to go to Val, and you basically get your mule and go all the way here to Squall's End. You're going to make a shit ton of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the farther you go, the more you're going to get from it. However, there are diminishing returns when it comes to the point of origin to the point of destination. And I don't know why that is. I mean, I think, again, we don't know like all the kind of shit going on right now, because even the list, because once you have a crate on your back, you can shift right click on it and it'll tell you like a price of like, oh, since you originated here in Valdegrim, if you go to this part, it'll say like, oh, you're going to get like 19 gold if you go to Squall's End. And you're like, oh my God, 19 gold. That's amazing. I can buy all the things that I want to buy. And then let's say you make that 3-hour trek to go to Squall's End, actually make it. You get there and you get 6 gold. That's the realistic reality that has been happening to people that have been really upset, because it's like they took out the time because the UI says one thing and then the destination reveals a complete different price. And so it's just been a lot, man. Yeah, the communication has been shit. Don't worry, I'm lighting on fire tomorrow. Yeah, I have a video that I don't know if it'll be out tomorrow, but the day after, but it's mostly just talking about like the body and stuff in general. But yeah, like I just want them to say something. Like, if you're not done with the ban list, cool, like that's fine. But just address the community, say like, hey, Happy New Year, guys. We're back in the office. We're working on stuff. The next focus for our next major patch is going to be this, this, and this. The ban list isn't ready yet. It'll be ready hopefully in a couple of more days. Sorry for the inconvenience. You know, just saying something, you know what I mean? Like fucking I would be happy with literally anything. We ain't going to get an update for a while. There's a reason Steven and Margaret aren't responding. I doubt that. I honestly thought we were going to get an update. I think we're going to get an update tonight, to be honest with you. I think at midnight, if we do get a maintenance, I would not be shocked if we had some kind of an update today. But I mean, hell, I could be wrong, right? I could be totally coping. Notice Steven used to be online all the time, and now he's nowhere to be seen. Yeah, I've seen that. It was kind of weird too to not see Steven online. What I've been doing is when I make runs, sell for crap. I just the crates in storage, and then the rewards go up. I already have the town to turn them in. Yeah, and apparently like that is a an exploit, apparently. Like that's not supposed to happen. Like you're not supposed to keep it in a, or I'm sorry, if you're doing that to like, let's say a village or even a town, but I think people are doing it to where they're leaving their crates in like a tier 2, and then as soon as it hits tier 3, they immediately turn them in and get like a crap ton of money because that's what's going to trigger the diminishing return. And that's not intended. But to be honest with you, I haven't really ran crates because I actually prefer the sports fishing shit, to be honest with you. I think running crates is fucking boring, to be honest with you. Especially when you're just by yourself running a shit by I don't like it. No chance tonight. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I'm probably just more coping at this point. Steven said yesterday in Discord that he will take a few more days for the list, and Margaret said they are prepping a PTR for testing for the new patch. Oh, okay, I didn't even see that. But again, I haven't been looking for it either, so I should probably go and try to look up their messages and shit like that. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna, you know, I think tomorrow I'll put like ban list this decade, this year, this decade, then this century, this millennia. You know, like we'll see it soon. You know, what are the next big systems to be added? So the actual hunting system, the freehold system, the instancing technology for instance apartments and freeholds, or instance apartments in settlements, and then the freehold system. Like there's a lot of upcoming big systems that are going to be added soon, potentially, hopefully, unless they've been delayed or unless shit's gone wrong. I don't have you in Discord, but I'll ping you in AOC Discord. Okay. I mean, I'm all over the Ash's Discord. If you just type up my name, you'll find me pretty easily. Like I'm not a hard person to find in the Discord. Let me see. We are waiting on systems in game to be fixed before they add more. No, of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always a waiting game for sure, right? Hurry up and wait. In my opinion, if solo do city board missions, I focus on gathering boards. Jova has 2 now, and then go out, gather, turn in, popping the 25% XP score right before turn in. Turn-ins are the best. Bank is stocked, and with board, turn-ins ready to go. Yeah, that's what I've been doing too. I mean, just to show you, like I literally get all of my shit, and then once I have it all completed or whatever, I go in, I pop my scroll here and complete them. You know, I mean, I've been doing that. Like I have been a little bit focused on leveling, right? But it's not been my main focus. I'll put it that way. I treat leveling more ancillary. So it is what it is. Example, freeholds used to be in the game. This is a test, so people are changing things to make people test what they want on release. They want to make it more equal. Yeah, no, for sure. DM sent. Here, hold on. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Can I, like, why can't? Hold on. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you, thank you. So this is just for people like myself that didn't see this shit. The man is online. Is it the one we've all been waiting for? And Steven says needs another day or two, but we are close. So you said this was yesterday? This was on the 12th that Steven said this? Yeah, like I said, I don't know why they haven't put it in. Let me see. And more PTR testing in the future. Woohoo! Can't wait. Lots of bugs being fixed for sure. We have a build cooking. It needs more time for QA to test. We're also getting PTR set up for y'all to pop on and take a look too. Then it gets pushed to y'all in the realms. It's a lot. Good. I mean, again, like the fact that this just wasn't expressed in a news thing, like why? You know what I mean? Like, wait, think he said that on Sunday? Really? Well, I mean, it has been 2 days. Like if he said that on Sunday, here's a day or two. Does it need a day or 3? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's I don't know. I guess it is what it is. But I mean, hey, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that because I didn't know that Steven said something like that. But yeah, to just find something out like that in the general chat and not just have something posted, like especially going to the PTR news and be like, hey guys, we haven't forgotten about you. We have a big PTR patch that we guys want you to test or whatever. Like, you know, like I don't it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally not hard to just say that, like in a very open fashion like that. It's wild. My hype has been spent. Yeah, and I think that's what happens with these. Because I've had this conversation because I've been streaming Ashes for a whole year of these ebbs and waves of people, and I've had my own ebbs and waves. Like I've taken a break from the game for a couple of weeks and didn't play anything. Phase 2.5, I was very much super hands offish. Like I played very seldomly, and then in phase 3. I played for like that first month, not even the first, maybe just a couple of weeks. And when I realized just how fucked phase 3 was, I basically just stopped playing. And I was just going to wait for early access at that point, where I was technically waiting for the Harbingers update because we didn't know about early access then, but I just decided to just wait because there was just no point. Like there's just no point. Like phase 3 was just so bad. Like it was utterly terrible. Like it was just so terrible. Let me see. Yeah, they should have been posting that in the news. They are dropping the ball hard on communication. Yeah, they have been. And I don't know why. Like usually they're very good about it. Like, I don't know what's happened regarding just being open in an open development. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems very odd for me to say that, but I mean, it feels like the truth. Like, you know, and it's not saying that people are trying to go after them in pitchforks. It's just odd, you know? People complain that they took away the freeholds, but it wasn't working, so they brought it down to fix. Also, people will still complain if it was in a broken state. Well, I didn't like the freehold system as it was released either. I thought it was, many people didn't like it. I mean, it was just like, it needed a lot more work. But I think them putting in the game did more for them on a back end to see like what was their issues in implementation and what they needed to get to the point of like an actual 1.0 freehold system. Because I felt like we got a very, very much like a alpha version of the freehold system when we should have gotten something that was a little bit more fleshed out. You know what I mean? Freehold was just an asset drop. Yeah, it wasn't even working. Yeah, like, well, people were planting stuff, but you could only get like common versions of the shit you planted. Like it wasn't even anything like interesting. Like imagine buying a freehold for 100 gold and you couldn't even do anything on it. You know what I'm saying? It was just wild. I think the only thing you could have was a storage, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Love watching your stream. I watch Twitch/YouTube while I play. But with you, I get to enjoy conversation. I park myself AFK fish while I listen. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Like, that's what I try to do, man. Like, I think everybody that shows up in my chats, I think we usually have a pretty damn good discussion about just topics in general. And I try to be fair to people that, you know, have been in the community for a long time. And I try to be fair to the people that just got here to the community, because I know they don't know the stuff that I've known for over a year, you know, in this alpha test. And I know a lot of frustrations sometimes get to people and they just wonder like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, why is it like this? Like, you know, this is not the early access that I thought this was going to be or whatever. And, you know, as valid as a concern that is to an early accessor, The reality is that we are in an alpha testing phase, and we are going to be in this alpha testing phase for at least another year, potentially even more, a year and a half. And I think if you don't get that wrapped around your head now, it's going to feel even worse the more you try to keep playing this as a game. And then you'll potentially just burn out entirely. And that's what I always fear for people. It's just literally just burning out entirely. Coming to AA has been a crazy learning curve. Yeah, I know. For a lot of people, it has been. A lot of our new guildies that we've gotten in, like, because, you know, talking to Discord, you know, a lot of the people in my guild were very seasoned in Ashes. Many of us, not including myself, I said not including myself, have been in Alpha 1. My guild leader, I mean, has been there for a long time. The people that we've known have been there for a long time, all of the officers. So when we have brand new people that come in, we try to educate them on like the process, right? Like the whole, you know, just like how this alpha is going to go, like your expectations, like setting your expectations. And, you know, if you're feeling, you know, and my guild leader does such a great job of like promoting like the more casual gameplay and not having to feel forced to play the game. And, which is good, you know. I'm okay with this being an alpha. I've played a lot of them. What I'm not okay with is the dev silence. I missed the phase 2 weekly, sometimes bi-weekly patches and dev notes. Well, not only that, but also just the cadence of like even the patch news cycles, or you go into Alpha 2 news or the PTR news, and they would just tell you like, hey guys, we're gonna have a build coming up tomorrow at this time, like be ready, you know, whatever. Or, hey, we had a build coming up, but it's got delayed, so sorry about that, but it should be up hopefully in a couple of more days. Like, they've done this, you know what I mean? This is what I mean. Like, it just feels like there is a reason why they're not saying anything. And it's starting to kind of scare me a little bit, because it's like, it's a very easy thing to do, but yet they're not doing it. And it's a little concerning, you know? So I hope that, I hope stuff's going well behind the scenes is what I'm basically trying to say. Picked up on Steam and never played before, but about hit 450 hours. Holy shit, man. I have like 200 to 300. Yeah. Well, that's great, man. Like it's really refreshing to hear a lot of the early accessors really enjoying the game. Like truly, like because I thought for a lot of people, this game would be a huge turnoff, but my hope was, and I said this prior to early access. Like if you were on my stream, you can confirm that I said this, but my hope was that these early access people were going to see the bones, see the potential that this game can offer. Like once these things are fixed, once these things are evolved and more fleshed out, and they listen to our feedback and it's more altered in a way that's more player friendly, more PVX oriented. Like I feel like the potential of this game is just insane. Like it really is. Like it's so insane. And I was just hoping that early accessors could see that potential. And judging by how many hours you guys have played, I'm only assuming that you guys have seen that potential. And that's a really good thing to hear. You see, in my opinion, the silence is more about walking on eggshells. Way too many people purchased on Steam thinking the game was almost done. With so many eyes on Ashes, now people will blow up anything that is not positive. I could potentially see that, but I think right now the eyes were on Ashes of Creation in December. I think a lot of the people that haven't purchased Ashes of Creation, and especially a lot of the content creators, like S-Fan isn't playing Ashes of Creation anymore. Not because he doesn't want to, but because he's playing BC. Like he is a WoW dude. Like he's going to be playing Burning Crusade more so than Ashes of Creation. There's a lot of these big content creators that have stopped playing, but I know Sunny's still playing. I know Showback is still playing. I know there's a few others from a couple of other MMO communities that are still playing, but it feels like the sentiment and the hype has very much died down since December. And I think it's good. I don't think hype being at an all-time high for a period of time is good to an extent, but it can't never sustain it. You know what I'm saying? Dusty. Well, Dusty's been here for over a year now. Like he's been here since I think P2, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like Dusty just came in early access. He's been here for a long time. Hold on one second. Let me see. Side note, how cool is this season getting into winter? It used to suck because like I said, it literally looked like winter instead of fall. It was fall was winter 1 and winter was winter 2. Boo Dusty, boo cats with abs. I don't have a problem with cats. Like I don't have any like issue with Dusty or anything like that. I mean, I have heard Dusty be a little bit white knightish at times for sure, but I think again, valid criticism is totally fine. Like if Intrepid's dropping the ball, like right now, like we're talking about communication, which we all can agree that they've dropped the ball on communication. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can still love the game. Like, this is what I don't get about people. And again, I'm not talking about Dusty specifically, but I'm just talking about people that white knight any kind of game is like anyone's going to criticize it. You know what I mean? I do. They scalp guildies. They do. Like, what do you mean? Like, they literally poach people? I have not heard that. I have not heard that personally. So this is like literally my first time ever hearing this. Gonna miss murdering animals after petting them when they get a new hunting. Yeah, the whole petting system is just complete trash. Like, wow. I've oh God. This is why honestly I have not even got into hunting, because I want to try hunting when it's actually the real system and not this like fake petting shit. Yes, they offered them thing from their guild. They offered them thing. Like what did they offer them? I feel like if a person joins a guild and another guild says, "Hey, we want you in our guild and we'll offer you a spot or offer you like a good grind group or whatever," and they leave to that other group, like, I personally don't think it's particularly poaching. To me, poaching is when you lie about, like, if a guild goes after you and says like, "Hey, the guild you're in, dude, are actually really shady people. They're actually no good." They're basically lying about your guild and then being like, "But if you come over here, like, you know, we'll protect you and we'll do this stuff to you, yada, 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 yada." Like, that to me is like what more poaching is. But it's like, if a person like that's in suspect, like, cause I'm in the guild suspect. So if like one of Dusty's guild mates talks to someone from suspect and says like, "Hey, our guild's better, you know, we do things better, yada, yada, yada," you know, and our suspect member's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm just going to leave suspect and go to you." Like, I personally don't consider that poaching, because at the end of the day, if you were just that flip floppy, then, you know, we kind of probably didn't want you anyway in that sense. Because, you know, we want people that are just a little bit more dedicated than just being like, I know there's other guilds that are probably better than suspect, but the culture and the camaraderie and the friendships that I made at suspect is why I stay. You know what I'm saying? Suspect worst guild because pockets is in. It's more like a sport transfer. Yeah, exactly. Dusty Wise says all the time on his stream that they have a waiting list for people to join on Discord. I was on the list but made my own guild instead, so maybe not poach, but the person was just on waiting for an invite. Yeah, I can see that, because Dusty's a streamer. He's the biggest Ashes of Creation streamer that we have right now. Of course, there's people going to want to join cats, and there's going to be lists and stuff like that. Like, again, I don't really consider that poaching. What server are you guys on? We're on the Shoal server. I actually had this. I should probably just put it on so that way people. Oh shit! So that way people just know that I'm on the Shoal server, because I always say that all the time. But yeah, I just took it off because I just, like, I don't know. I felt like I didn't need it on, but I guess maybe I do, because people still ask me about it. But yeah, I think let me see. Did everyone go to Shoal? Like, we were on Shoal initially. Like, I've been on Shoal since day one. I think a lot of people from other major guilds have gone to Shoal since then. But yeah, Shoal's always been a pretty populated server, like, from day one. But guys, I'm probably gonna go ahead and dip out. It's been over 2 hours for me. You guys know my time limit with like kids and shit. But I do really want to appreciate and give a special thanks to Strixon for the 20 gifted subs. And again, you know, that was a lot of everyone didn't want to deal with aura and polar shit. Yeah, no, for sure. That's why I didn't want it. I was like, y'all go to fucking Resna, we'll stay on Shoal. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out with me again today. This was a really fucking awesome discussion. Roar's video was really great, provided a lot of really good insight to his experience and of course ours. And yeah, so let me go ahead and see who's streaming currently on the Ashes category, and we'll just kind of go from there. There's a guy named Old Greg. I'm Old Greg. There's Willow. There's Pockets. Oh, Dank. Haven't seen him in a bit. Damn it, Pockets. I'm trying to get off. And I was literally about to raid you because I'm like, I don't see any other people that I see on here. Oh my God. Find another person. It's not saying I don't like to raid Dusty. Like I just try to, because Dusty has like a crap ton of people. Like I want to always try to give people like Strixon, how are you not following me, brother? Really? You weren't following my channel? I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Let me see. Let's do Wick Willow. All right, guys. Again, thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. Strixon, again, thank you so much, brother, man, for that. That was very generous of you, man. Seriously. Thank you, thank you. And like I said, I'll be on tomorrow, probably after 7 p.m. Central. Just because that kind of makes it. Jesus Christ, Strixon, are you kidding me, dude? What the fuck, dude? Holy shit, dude. You did not have to freaking do that. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, man. I have to stay on top for the leaderboard. Jesus, dude. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I
You
know
did
12 inches pretty well. Let me see that.
Yeah, seriously. That's that was big, man. Big. All right, man. Well, you guys have a good one. Like I said, thank you again, brother. You did not have to freaking do that. But if you got a gifted stuff from Strixon, give a heart out to Strixon for that. That was awesome of him, man. Thank you again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You stay safe, and hopefully the list comes out tomorrow with more information and an update. All right, take care.